We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello, dear students. Myself, Dr. Hitesh R. Ashani, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, VVP Engineering College, Rajkot. Welcome you all in this lecture of Advanced Construction and Equipment. Today I am going to explain the few topics from the chapter Cofferdam. These are the 4 topics. One is the cellular cofferdams, which is of 2 types. There is circular type cellular cofferdam, and second is the diaphragm type cellular cofferdam. Next one is the movable or suspended cofferdam. Third one, economical height of cofferdam, and fourth one, how to prevent leakage in cofferdams. So let us start with the first one, cellular cofferdam. The cellular cofferdam, the figure is, you can see the figure also. The cellular cofferdams are mostly used when it is required to dewater the large area. Means when the scale of the work that is required to be performed below the water level is of large size, we have to enclose very large area, and in that type of the situation, these cellular cofferdams are very suitable. Also, where the depth of the water in the water body is between 19 to 21 meter, in that case we have to also go for the cellular type cofferdam. It is mostly used for the construction of the marine structures like dams, docks, harbors, jetties, like that. Means it is basically, we can say, for the large scale construction work into the water body, we have to use this cellular cofferdam. So this cellular cofferdam is of 2 types. One is the circular type cellular cofferdam, and second one is the diaphragm type cellular cofferdam. First we will see the circular type cofferdam. This is the figure, one small figure of circular type cellular cofferdam. Now let us see what is happening in this circular type cellular cofferdam. So this type of the cofferdam consists of a set of large diameter main circular cells interconnected by the arches of small cells. You can see in the figure with the arrows. Main cells are also shown, and the main cells which are connected by the small arches cells are also shown. So the walls of the connecting cells are perpendicular to the walls of the main circular cells of the large diameter as shown in the figure. The cofferdam is thus made from the interconnected steel sheet piles. You can see here in this figure, it is clearly visible that it is the constructed, or the skeleton of the circular type cofferdam is made by the interconnected steel sheet piles. The empty space are filled with the non-pervious materials like clay or sand. Due to the filling material, the self-weight of the membranes increases and leakages reduces. The circular type cellular cofferdams are self-sustaining and therefore independent of the nearby the circular cell. each cell can be filled independently with respect to the other interconnected cells. The stability of such cells is much greater as compared with that of the diaphragm type cellular cofferdam. However, the circular cells are more expensive than the diaphragm type cellular cofferdam, as this requires more seed piles and greater skill in setting and driving the cofferdams. Because the diameter of the circular cell is limited by interlocking tension, their ability to resist lateral pressure due to the high heads is limited. Now you can see here in this figure, first the skeleton is prepared and then seed pilings, okay, on the periphery of the skeleton is done to create the cofferdam, and then whole assembly will work as a cofferdam. So this makes this cofferdam more expensive compared to the diaphragm wall type, the type cellular cofferdam. Now next one is the diaphragm type cellular cofferdam. This is the figure of the diaphragm type cofferdam. Now let us discuss the technical points of the diaphragm type cofferdam. This type of the cofferdam consists of a series of diaphragm of steel seat piles connected as shown in the image below. You can see here in this figure, okay, the series of diaphragms of steel seat piles. The series of diaphragms, okay, means panels, okay, are interconnected as shown in the figure. The straight diaphragm walls are connected to each other by steel piles arranged in the form of the arches on the either side. You can see here on the either side, okay, means in this side and in this side you can see, okay, this is a straight wall of the diaphragm, and this straight wall of the diaphragm wall is connected by the arches on the either side. The walls of the connecting cells are perpendicular to the walls of the main circular cells of the large diameter. After the cells are driven to the required depth, they are filled with the earth, sand, gravel or other filling material. You can see here in this uh, figure, on the top figure in the sectional view XX. Okay, after the diaphragm wall, diaphragm type cofferdam is installed at a required depth. The in-between space is filled with the materials, okay, and that will work as a cofferdam. In this type of the cofferdam, as the diaphragms which separates the two cells is a straight wall, it is necessary to fill adjacent cells at approximately, okay, at the same rate. Here we have to take care. The interconnected cells cannot work, cannot be filled separately with respect to each other, as we have seen in case of the circular type cofferdam. Here the interconnected cells are filled with the material with the same rate. Interlocking stresses reaches their maximum permissible value when the diameter of the cell is about 21 meter. So this type of the cofferdam has the advantages that the effective width of the cofferdam can be increased to the desirable limits without increasing the interlocking stresses. Now next one is the movable or suspended cofferdam. This type of the cofferdam is used when the repetition work is required below the water level for the construction of the foundations, like piers of bridges, long jetties, like many more. So it is economical to design cofferdam to be moved as a single unit from one place to another foundation location. So movable cofferdam is suitable when repetition work is there, means same type of the work is required to be performed number of times, this type of the coffer dam is more economical. Okay, plus if you want to achieve the economy in your construction activity, construction work, this type of the coffer dam is also useful. In this type of the coffer dam, a cap is provided on the top of the coffer dam below the water level when the depth of the river bed is more. So movable coffer dam may take any form, like hollow steel cylinder can be used to prepare a temporary enclosure space for the work, and second, watertight timber box may be floated and fixed with piles or casing by rivers. Now, what is the purpose of this type of the coffer dam? It will work as a working platform for the construction activity, as guide for driving the rings of sheet piles. It will work as a coffer dam itself, as foam work for underwater portion of the pier shafts. It can work. Now, next topic is economical height of coffer dam. So, the maximum height of coffer dam for which the total cost of the coffer dam is minimum with respect to the maximum storage of the water is known as the most economical height of coffer dam. So when the coffer dam is constructed in a river, it is necessary to determine the height that will most satisfactory. Usually the height of coffer dam is decided based upon the height of the average normal flood during every year. To calculate the economical height, storage capacities for the different height of the dams are calculated, and the cost of the dams are worked out and plotted in graph with the height of the dam versus the cost benefit ratio. Now, the factor that governs the economical height of the coffer dam, one is the depth of water. If the depth of water is low, we have to go for the earthen dam. If the depth of the water is high, sheet pile coffer dam is preferable. Second factor is current and nature of the peak of water in the water body. For the high current, steel sheet pile coffer dam is preferable, and if the current of the water is low, earthen dam or any other dam is preferable to achieve the economical height in the coffer dam. Third factor is type and period of the work. For the short duration work, timber coffer dam will give the minimum cost and maximum storage, means economical height. And if the duration of the work is long, sheet pile coffer dam gives the maximum storage and minimum cost. Fourth one, high and low tide level of the reservoir. Sheet pile must have top level slightly higher than that of the high tide level, so that will give the maximum storage and minimum cost, so that even in the extreme cases, water cannot overtake the coffer dam to achieve the dry working area throughout the season. Fifth factor is scouring level of reservoir. Scour level can be considered as the bottommost layer of the loose soil of the river bed. Up to the scour level, there are chances of erosion due to the current of water, and that will affect the stability of the coffer dam. In any pile or well foundation, the care to be taken that foundation level must be below the scour water level. So that will give the stability to your coffer dam, and that will have the maximum storage and minimum construction cost, means we can achieve the economy. Sixth factor is type of material to be used for the construction of the cofferdam. Structural sheet pile is the costly but can be reused at different projects. So that will give the economy in the construction, in the we can say maximum storage, number of repetition is more, so maximum storage with minimum cost. Now, last topic in this this session is how to prevent the leakages in cofferdam. The first one, water entering the dewatered area through the cracks in the rocks can be stopped by grouting the cracks by the cement grouting, as you can see in this figure. Cement grouting process is adopted to prevent the water that is coming from the rocks and cracks fissures. Second thing is the clay or mixture of clay and sand can be dumped in the form of beams both on inside and outside face of the cofferdam. You can see here in this figure, okay, see earthen beam is prepared, okay, so that will also avoid the seepage of the water in this dry working area of the cofferdam. Third one, in case of single wall cofferdams, seating should be connected through V-shaped notches and filled with the clay material. Fourth one, cracks or fine joints or nail holes in the seat pile should be closed using the bituminous or concrete mortar. Fifth one, if a lot of leakages is taking place, the water face of the cofferdam may be completely covered with the canvas coated with tar or tarpaulin, as shown in the figure. Sixth one, in case of double wall cofferdam, leakage is generally because of insufficient compaction of the filling material. So in this case, measures to control the seepage through the compaction of the filling material should be adopted. Seventh measures, another method may be a box filled with the mixture of ashes and wood dust planned near the leakage joints. That will also prevent the leakage in the cofferdam. The leakage water carries this contains into the joints and thus helps check the leakage to the some extent. This is not a very good measure, but to a certain extent that will control the leakage into the cofferdam. And last one, sufficient grease should be applied at the interlocking of the seat piles also will help to prevent the leakage in the cofferdam. So thank you very much, friends, for this lecture.